Live. I'm sitting in the sun because I'm cold. Uh, it probably will get better, the shot that is, when the sun sets just a little bit. But for now, I'm gonna be streaming right here. I thank you, friends, for joining me again. I can say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution, on another Man, it's instantly disconnecting. Last time I was here, the internet was bad as well, all things considered. But I hope it gets better. I'm gonna trust it will get better. I'm gonna do this. Is that shot better? It'll have to be. Yeah, love is true. Giving ourselves a voice. What a stream topic this is. This one is a doozy. This one is very personal to me. This one is kind of like revealing of my own struggles, of the stuff that I've been through throughout my life. But this weekend, as some of you friends know, I went through to celebrate my sister's birthday. And that was nice. It was nice celebrating my sister's birthday, you know? Like for what it's worth, that part of the fractal was pretty okay. You know, nothing was missed when it comes to celebrating my sister's birthday. However, as I was trying to, if you will, integrate back into my family as a conversationalist, and I'm saying family pretty liberally, not just my. We have a word in Afrikaans that goes gesin. A gesin is like your family that's in your home, and then your family that is extended as well. There was like some extended family members, some of the engineering family members. And I talk the way I talk. You friends have come to expect me to talk about the future and to talk about the hopes I have for the future a lot in this space. However, in my family, when I talk about the future, uh, it is taken as like a challenge, right? Like me talking about a hopeful future, the challenge is how can it not be hopeful or something, right? Bruh, the internet is so bad. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. It's fire, but it's just trash. It should be better. It should be better. Hopefully it's more stable. Here's hoping. So I can share my story with you, friend. So I'm trying, right? I'm trying to share like my hope for the future when it comes to gene editing, human beings being able to live longer, and then I get, like no, it will never happen. They're gonna mutate people into like Cronenberg creatures, you know, fractal puts down, right? Like there's no one offering any value. There's no one offering any alternatives. There's only them offering me how what I believe cannot be, right? And then we transition into like electric vehicles. My family really, like aggressively likes combustion engines, and I aggressively don't, right? So I'm like talking about electric vehicles, about how much better they are for the environment, and then getting told they will never work in South Africa, and like there's no charging infrastructure, and how are people gonna be able to afford them? And no. Again, just problems, just getting problems, right? No solutions are being talked. Then we transition into talking about AI, about the fractal that's coming, about robotics, about food, about, what it means to take care of people. And again, in my hopeful mind, I share this idea, this hope I have for our world in the future where everybody is taken care of. And then I get told, no, we cannot take care of people because if you take care of people, they'll just sit at home and do nothing all day. You know, that's what's gonna happen. And I'm like, that is not true. It is empirically false because I was given food and shelter. And instead of just sitting and doing nothing all day, I decided to give of myself, give my actual soul to others every single day, right? And I wouldn't have been able to give my soul like that if not for the fact that I had my basic needs taken care of, right? So I was trying to share this idea, this understanding that if we can reach a point where we take care of human beings, the capacity we have to work will change, right? I think we'll be even more capable of work. We'll be even more enthusiastic. Maybe that's the right word. Enthusiastic about work when it's not attached directly to our survival. And all of these ideas, right? I would like to believe them to be beautiful. Aren't seen as beautiful, but instead seen as delusional. I think that was the fractal that my family really made clear to me this weekend, is that I am delusional, right? And that all of these hopes and dreams I have for the world are mine, you know? Like yeah, you hold, and like my uncle even like literally did this, like yeah, do this, and then you hold on to that dream, he says to me. And I reply to that, I will. In fact, from all of the people I've met in my life, uncle, I am the person who will grip that dream until my fucking knuckles are completely white, until my eyes are bloodshot, until my muscles tear from their freaking tendons. I will not let go of a hopeful world for our future. And this incessant need for people to just like pour more negative on this positive fire that I'm trying to create, kind of didn't really kill the fire in me, but it just made me stop sharing the warmth. And I had this conversation with my brother after this whole conversation. Fortunately, me and my brother get along well, right? Because like it goes from me being a person to me being the person to prove wrong, right? And like literally, I was the only person arguing for the hopeful side of our future, right? And everybody is like, nah, this guy is fucking delusional. Like, the world is already over, global warming and the AI is gonna terminate us, and Elon Musk is gonna mind control us, and they're gonna put chemtrails and then they're gonna gene edit them, and right? Just negativity. So I had this conversation with my brother afterwards, where I mentioned to him that the reason I have these conversations with people, the reason I want to share these things, is because I believe them, right? And believing in a hopeful future generates a certain feeling inside of me, inside my heart and my soul. A feeling of hope, a feeling of upliftment, a feeling of passion, of drive, of willingness to go into another day believing that there is something good, right, to be had by completing it. Even if it's just me trying to help a single person, trying to show up in a conversation, right? Like there's ways for me to help just by being present for this day. And the only thing I want is for other people to feel that way, right? Like I'm not sharing my hope for the future from a perspective of wanting to be right, right? Like there's no value in and of itself in being right about something. Being right about a hopeful future means that it's better for all of us, right? And that's the part I want. That's the part I want. The being right is going to be inconsequential because I believe I will be. I believe I will be. That's where the ego comes in. That's where the hubris comes in. I believe I will be right. I think the future is bright. I just wish people would believe it. And I know you cannot believe in something and know it to be true, uh, but the future is coming, whether we want it or not. And it's technically here in many ways. We just need to embrace it at this point. So, after the conversation with my brother, I feel good about being able to connect with him and getting to see the understanding in his eyes of me trying to make my voice known, like in that capacity of being able to tell him how I'm feeling. And then I get to go to sleep, right? And I'm laying there trying to go to sleep, and I'm thinking about the implications of what happened tonight and what that does to me, what it's been doing to me as a child. And I was thinking about how my voice was not heard. Not only was my voice not heard, but it was silenced over and over and over and over again. And then I realized that, in part, at the very least, this stream, this thing that we're doing right now, was my attempt of giving myself a voice. And in doing so, I've given all of us a voice. That's the part of it that's cool to me. I'm not trying to show you the car. I think a Max just arrived. So I'm gonna open for him. Hey Max! My friend, I think the gate's already open, bro. I'm technically ready to leave. I'm just finishing my stream. Oh no. Hold on.
You guys have too interested.
All right. So yeah. Thank you, friends, for listening to me, for having given me a voice in the way that you friends have. Even though it was me trying to give myself a voice, uh, you friends have given me a voice, right? And I appreciate that more than I can say. So I'll just say thank you. Thank you, friends. Thank you, Joviv, and thank you, Sam, for joining me. Duck Dad and Nancy is here as well. Bless you, friends. Chatten and Lurkin, you are loved. Morning, friends. I find it curious that your internet is only terrible if large amounts of family members are nearby. I'm not at home right now, right? I'm technically at John's grandma's place, and we do have fiber. I only have like a gigabyte of data left, so I won't be able to stream for long. Stream is fun, not unstable. Yoga was unstable. Yeah, it's fine now because I switched over to my mobile data. I just think this internet is really bad. It might be good for like streaming things, but it's not good for streaming things. Yeah, yeah. Our mouth appears to be captive in a medieval prison. I am. I am. I am captive in a medieval prison. It's called capitalism. Was capitalism a thing during the medieval times? I don't know, but I'm gonna hit my Dynavap. I have some Atheno 2 in here. I did take a bunch of my nice bud through, but nobody ended up smoking with me this weekend. If they had lithium mines in South Africa, they would change their mind about EVs. I think we have some lithium mines here in SA. They're just stuck in the freaking before times, in the before four times. That's the only problem I think, because they like to believe legacy tech is gonna stick around. That's so nice. Ooh.
He's calling me a daddy.
Are they 5G? 5G suck you by. Nancy Bingo. They appear to be Doug. I have been known to judge people unfairly, however. I don't know if I was being too judgmental this weekend. I didn't drink any, so there was some judgment there. I'm really proud of myself though. Like I did not a drop, not a part per million of alcohol entered my system. I didn't even taste. We have this thing called milk tarkies. It's like ideal milk, condensed milk, and vodka. And every single family get together, they make that stuff and they take it as shooters. And it's a tradition in our family to have like a shooter in hand, and then there's like a speech being done and a cheersing, and you take the shot. I was holding my Dynavap during that. I was like, fuck it. Not gonna be poisoning my temple. Thank you very much. And like, I think that's one of the things, and I felt like I had like some ground to stand on, because again, like the night before, the conversation was about me being delusional, essentially, right? I don't think that word was used. I was told keep living that dream, a bunch of times, but it goes from like me being like the person that just lives in the dreams, having this hope for the future, and then watching at the same time how people are poisoning their futures, right? It's like yeah, it's just hard for me to swallow. Love is true. Let me get back to chat. That sun is bright, and I wish the camera was pointing in another direction. It's better now, right? I just had to get some sun on my back. Like I did enough yoga to get like a little bit sweaty, and then as soon as the yoga stopped, I went instantly to freezing. Hi all, Ryan here today. Rosie is sleeping. I am enjoying a cup of Turkish tea. I don't know what Turkish tea exactly means. If Turkish tea is a certain type, or maybe it's just a tea from Turkey. Do you know what kind? Does it have any caffeine in it? are there any compounds in it that you know of that are supposed to have some sort of medicinal benefit? Like when I drink rooibos tea, I drink it very much so with the intention of putting those anti why can't I say the word antioxidants in my body. Joe, look at that, Joy Vive, asking you shall receive. Look at that. Boom, angle changes. And now the sun is better as well, right? I guess I can switch it around now. You're just going to be looking at like walls in the background. Is this better? I don't know if it's better. It's not worse. No, it is worse. I think it's worse because there's less plants. I'll do that. There's some trees on that side. I mean, I have to like get it so high for the trees to be visible. Love is true. I'm spazzing out now. We're back. We're back almost to where we were. Let me get back to chat. They appear to be duck. Some direction. Turn the camera. Okay, Duckling just woke up and walked downstairs to say good morning to her Nintendo Switch. Not to play it, just to wish it a good start to the day. That's nice, bro. I kind of get it, bro. Like I sometimes, and I don't know if this is embarrassing to say, but I'll sometimes take a moment to like look at one of my sacred objects, like this little thingy, right? I'll go just to give it some kisses, bro. A little bit of kiss, you know. So I get it. The good morning fractal. Good morning is very wholesome. I haven't done that yet. I just kiss my sacred objects. I've never said good morning to them. Good morning, Mimo. Mimo is like, bro, it's 15 minutes past 4. What are you on? Mimo, that's... I was trying to be nice, Mimo. Please, don't be like that. Not even a drop of alcohol. Oh God, why? You're not Catholic. I wanted to. I really wanted to. For what it's worth, Sam, like there was a moment last night where the drinking was being drank, and I wanted to. I was like, yeah, drinking would make this whole experience so much easier. It would make all of this exponentially easier. However, uh, the reasoning isn't me being Catholic, it's me being uh, loving kind of vibes, right? Loving, and I want to say wise as well, just to like extra amp my ego, you know? Because on the one side, it is an act of love to not do that to myself, and on the other side, it is an act of wisdom to know why I'm not doing that to myself. And maybe there's an element of like willpower to it as well. Pride, even, Sam. Of like, you know what? I am wise enough to know this is poison. I love myself enough to not poison myself. And I have enough willpower and pride to be able to, you know, take this stance. So it's not me being like, oh, I'm so great. It's still very much an addiction of mine as well, I guess. But it is an act of love, right? Like I cannot abide. I used to drink alcohol, but understanding what it does to your body. For instance, right? Let me rephrase this. I am, and you friends have heard me talk about this, mildly obsessed with longevity, right? I do yoga. I switched to vaping instead of smoking because it was bad for my lungs. I try to eat healthy as much as I can. I try to sleep enough hours to repair my systems. Uh, and then there is, you know, compounds in this world. And more compounds will be created in our near future that will help us stay young longer. And then there are compounds in this world that do the opposite. And alcohol are one of those compounds, right? It's like drinking a reverse aging pill. It makes you stupid and old cellularly, right? It does genetic damage to you because it doesn't care. It goes wherever it wants to, right? Like you have all of these very intricate systems in your body, like blood-brain barriers, right? There's like a literal barrier that allows only certain things in and out of certain sizes. Alcohol doesn't care, right? It just goes wherever. It goes straight to your brain if it wants to. Those molecules, they can. Goes straight into your mitochondria. Goes any cell, right? If you wanna see really what alcohol does to a creature, to a cell, you put them in a petri dish and then you drop a drop of alcohol on them, and then you watch what happens to them. Right? They don't like it. Isomize, because they melt, they dissolve, they literally disintegrate, like rapidly, like instantaneously. And then I imagine putting that stuff inside of me, and like all of this work I've done to take care of myself, all of this effort in trying to loving this body, right? Acknowledging that again, the love I have for this body, the love I have for this world is my relationship with the feminine. And if I cannot love myself, then I cannot love another person, right? And if I'm unwilling to do those things for myself, why would I be willing to do anything for another person? Maybe some people hate themselves, on some level, so they have to try and like help another person as their like escape, and they can justify hurting themselves but help other people regardless of that. But geez, we know better. We know better. And I think again, it's one of those things that we don't really want a voice put to. Like I can feel even just in this space a certain tension arises in all of our minds in talking about stuff like this. We don't really want this stuff to be given a voice because we all know it. We all have that voice, but some of us can be better than others at silencing it. And that includes your own. So don't. That is today's stream topic, right? Don't let your voice be silenced. If people try to silence your voice, create new voices. Create new voices. One of my voices speaks yoga. One of my voices speaks art. One of my voices speaks like this to you right now. One of my voices speaks festival now. One of my voices will speak genetics. One of my voices will speak technology. One of my voices will speak entertainment. As in depth to a living experience, not just a movie you're watching, right? To be entertained. There was a lot of boredom this weekend. And I was like, especially watching the young ones. Like I remember us kind of like talking about whether or not we want to take the Starlink. The internet at home is very bad right now. And my brother is like, nah, dude, we're going to be family timing. We're not going to use the internet. Guess what? Guess what? The internet got used. We didn't take it to my sister's actual party, but it was at home. And 90% of the time was spent at home. And if there is like gaps where people aren't being spoken to and they're just sitting on the couch, then a cell phone is out using the internet. Where was I going with this? Guess boredom. Yeah, boredom. I even made this joke to my small cousins, Liam and Isak. Liam is 10, Isak is like 6 or 5, so they're very small, right? And I see them two like sitting next to each other on like this little like brick, if you will, like a brick with concrete over it, big bricks of concrete over it. And I can see them being like bored. They can't drink, right? So they're like at a place. There's lights. There's food being cooked on like there's a barbecue running on that side. There's alcohol being drank. There is Afrikaans music being played. People are like the people that have relationships are in relationships or dancing with each other, kind of like around the spot where there is like dancing spots available. And like these kids are just like sitting there, staring into the abyss. And I come to them like squatting down. Like we have Afrikaans where it goes, ek het op my hurke gegaan. Like op jou hurke gaan is when you go like this. Right? Because these kids are like this tall in comparison to me. So me to like get to their height, I have to go doing that. So I do that in front of them. I'm like, Yassie, kids. It's like, Yassie Owens. Waar is ons selfoon? Waar is die selfoon? Ons is verveeld. Like basically like saying, where's the cell phones? We're bored. And like seeing my little cousin like break out in laughter in a way that I haven't seen a child laugh, right? Like this child was laughing, like he understands. And of course they do. Of course they do, but I feel like he was laughing like I understand him, despite him being like a 5-year-old. And it felt so special. Felt so special. Oh, bro. We're bored. We're bored as a species, and we don't know how to have fun the way we used to. We don't find the same amount of fulfillment, I feel at least, having the same conversations over and over again. And like I mentioned, that this weekend was pretty predictable, at least. I don't really like predictable, but a part of me does, right? And I think that part of me is shrinking, but it was predictable. Like I wasn't surprised by any behavior. I wasn't surprised by the conversations. And to some, that is pretty boring. And I can see the kids especially being bored by it. Being like, bro, I'm already sick of these conversations, bro. Like, I don't want to talk about this stuff anymore. And you're like, what stuff, Melt? Just the basics, right? Cars, the economy. Oh, things bad. Yeah, things bad. Oh, people bad. Yeah, people bad. Jobbing. Yeah, jobs. Yeah, jobbing. I job sometimes, right? And then as soon as you start going into like metaphysical conversations, like the value systems we abide by, what we believe, carries more meaning than anything else. Then it's almost like a certain hands are being thrown up. Like, no, we're here to have fun, not have meaningful conversations. And I'm like, bro, the most fun you can have is having meaningful conversations. Like the most connected, or in like a way that might touch some people, the most close to God that I've ever felt was in a really meaningful conversation, right? And I didn't feel very close to God this weekend, to be honest, right? But Melt, you are God. All of us are. Wasn't like that. It was more just like a sense of there are other versions of God in this world that I feel closer to, despite them being thousands of miles away, right? And I know separation is a lie. There is no such thing. I've never seen separation in my life, but still, still, it can feel that way. It can feel that way. And that was yesterday's stream topic, of course. Sending you friends lesson. I'm going to add more warmth to my Danada. Not even a drop of alcohol. Oh God, why? You're not Catholic. Why chastise your body for the sin of existing through hardship? My body is a temple, but we will let all the vagrants in. Yeah, no. Vagrants can come in, because vagrants have some inkling of like social poise. I like how Sam is laughing. Like, Sam, hear me out, yo. If we're going to make this analogy, right, like cannabis would also be a vagrant, because it is a foreign substance to your body. But this vagrant, will come in like chill in the spaces that are made for it. Right? There are endocannabinoid receptors in my body, and these compounds will go and live there. Like there are these little homes for them, right? Where alcohol, as a vagrant, will go and live like not in its home, but it will like sleep on the streets, and it will like trip other things up. Like it will destroy the streets. So hard will it sleep on it, destroying it for other cells as well. Like they're not vagrants. They're like straight up. They're like agents of toxic chaos. Like they bring no value. Oh, the condensed milk vodka sounds disgusting. I mean, it's not. I haven't drank it in very long. It tastes like sweet vodka, like sweet creamy vodka. They're like literally like vodka liqueurs like that as well. So people do seem to like it, I think. Mm, I had Turkish coffees once and could have paved a road by hand if my heart didn't explode first. I heard that they're very strong. So never had a white Russian, and I will not. I guess that's the white Russians. Yeah. That milky Russian drink. I just quacked twice like Liam. Things I do in the morning. Started my day out the Liam way. That's super cool, dog. I wish he was here to hear that. White Russians aren't made of condensed milk. They are made of fresh cream, liqueur, and vodka. Fresh cream, coffee. Fresh cream, coffee liqueur, and vodka. Fresh cream coffee, liqueur, and vodka. I just like I know the previous one was the right one. I just wanted to add more chaos. I think I think they're narrow-minded. We all are. All of our by design have to be narrow-minded. My mind is still narrow, despite me wanting to believe it's open. Right? Like if an alien suddenly had to like land next to me and like open bar, reveal to me the intricacies of their social makeups and the complexities of their romantic relationships and the depth of their spiritual pursuit and the complexity of their mechanical systems that run their societies and the way they choose to raise their children. I probably would have my brain melted. My head would explode with how out there it would be for me too. Right, my mind wouldn't be open. I just saw like a WhatsApp from my grandma. My grandma is on some level, yo. Like on a level. And like she's really worried about me because like I'm the one person who's not closed-minded. Let's use that word just to like ruffle some feathers. So like she's sending me articles, and now recently she sent me a text, and I'm saying recently like 1 p.m. Sends me this text of she read this article in the newspaper about how they're lacing crystal meth with fentanyl, and she knows that I'm like, you know, a drug user, so she just wanted to let me know, and I'm like, thanks, grandma. No, like she wanted to let me know, and she also wanted to encourage me to stop my ways, something like that. And I start the voice note off by being like, thanks, grandma. I'm down to only smoking crystal meth like once a week. Like trying to like lay on thick, just to like joke even more. Because like, what does she think of me? Like, what the hell, grandma? And then I continue to have the conversation about like everything is drugs, right? Technically, food changes you as well. I've watched people go from murderous in intent to happy and calm by the drug of food, right? So, call out on that one. But I didn't say food. I said coffee and alcohol and cigarettes and the blood pressure medication you take. All of that stuff are drugs, right? And all of us take them. It's a part of life. My drug of choice, if you want to call it that, is cannabis. I refuse to drink alcohol, but I am ostracized. I'm seen as, in my family, as the drug user because of that. Seems a little bit of a stretch, but you know, I can live by example. So I keep talking to her and I tell her that despite me being this drug user, they call me, I am still making a success of my life, right? I still show up every single day for my responsibilities and for the people that I have around me. And there are people in this world that do no drugs whatsoever and cannot manage that. So I say to her, maybe in that case, the drugs are helping. And I just see this like string of emojis of like crying faces, like the face that's like ah, and then crying faces and like heartbreaking, and I'm like, yeah, love is true. Oh no 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 no! I don't know. White Russian. I think they're never minded. Bless again, Nancy. Like everyone doesn't have to be the same. We need artists and dreamers and visionaries and poets and musicians for fuck's sake. Yo, we do. You know, and the best part is like they spend all of their free time consuming the things that artists and dreamers and visionaries and poets and musicians make. Right? That's what they spend the majority of their free time doing. And then at the same time, me trying to do that. And that's the best part, right? Like our conversations go from like the same old churning repeat to like being diverse. Like we ended up having like a 5 hour conversation. They were like for 5 hours disagreeing with me, but we were having a very wide 5 hour conversation about the future, about AI, about gene editing, about robotics, about the way consciousness will be expected to change, about how a part of our consciousness is being processed in this system, and then we're going to integrate, and then we'll offload part of our processing to another system, and then eventually enough of our processing will be a part of that system to the point where your system of processing will be just an extension of you, the same way your arm is to you, right? So the conversations I could see the faces, I could see the eyes of like, oh, this is some cool stuff, My mind is stimulated. I am thinking about things. I am intrigued. I am, like not in a state of like, uh, mm. Like there was some uniqueness being generated. Like all of them were disagreeing with me, but they were uniquely, I guess, disagreeing with me because in their idea of the future, it doesn't look the way that I see it, right? But at least maybe in them seeing the difference, seeing the contrast, maybe it would steer them closer to the light, even though it might feel like it's dragging me into the darkness. Right? Fortunately, I have to remember that we are the light generators. So you cannot be dragged into darkness. If you get dragged to darkness, now the darkness is suddenly also light. Boom. Put that in your Meltmore quote and smoke it. Once, like everyone, love again. Melt, I feel like you're talking directly to me about the voice thing. Because I am. Right? To me, I am talking directly to you. That's kind of the point. That's kind of the point. And weirdly enough, it's so beautiful you say this to me as well because you're giving me opportunity to share this point of the conversation that I didn't necessarily think about sharing just yet. So thank you, Lozana. Is that I feel I thrive more so having an intimate one-on-one conversation with a person than I do having a conversation in a group. Right? Like if I can have a conversation with you one-on-one, it will be better than me talking as myself with you in this room about something. We can talk about the exact same thing one on one, and the way the conversation will turn out will be drastically different, right? And I realize that about my voice as well, that my voice maybe carries a little bit more power when it comes to addressing the individual in some ways, especially when it comes to sharing my perspective, right? Getting them to relate to why I'm sharing my perspective the way I am, right? Where it's very difficult for me to do that when I'm dealing with multiple perspectives at the same time. So I do the same thing here, right? Like I know there are multiple perspectives in the space with me, and it does influence my way of thinking. There's more, right? But at the same time, I am addressing you directly. And then when I make eye contact with this little eye on my device, you can look into my eyes as well, right? And if you listen to my voice that I am trying to create, right, that I have given myself, if you let me give that to you, you can receive something. And for me, in this moment, Loizana, you're so beautifully proving again that the thing that we want to receive is that sense of being seen, feeling like there is an understanding, a connection, a personality, a personal connection to that idea. And I really try, I really try to share all of my ideas in that capacity, but I fall short. So thank you, Lozana. Thank you for hearing my voice the way you do. I appreciate that. We have Kristen here. Mellow Raccoon. I haven't seen that username before, but I'm happy to see it now. Sending you blessings. I'm gonna read your comment in a second. I'm getting there. Sorry for taking so long. Oh no 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 no. One of the voices speaks 5-year-old, which coincidentally enough gives me the perfect speaking age to speak with most of the adults where I live. That's hilarious, Doug. That got me. And this is weird, but this morning I had an old folk song stuck in my head, and it's called "Ain't Nobody Who Can Sing Like Me." So I was already thinking about that. My voice isn't beautiful, and my thyroid disease is getting worse, but it's mine. Also, if it continues to get worse for the rest of my life, my voice will never sound better than it does today. So I should get recording. Please do. Like, seriously, Louisiana, I would like implore you. I would kind of like be aggressively, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Technically, it's anal, I think, but I don't like that word about it. I'll be like in your face about it. Like, record yourself as much as you can, even if you'd be willing to. And this might be weird to just like hit the record button on your phone, and then just to walk around with it when you're having conversations as well, because the voice models will get good enough so that you will be able to. And I know this might be cringe to duplicate your voice, but eventually, when the technology catches up, you'll be able to replace your voice box if that's something you want to do, and it will sound like you, like the you that you sound like to yourself right now, if you record yourself. So yeah, yeah, hope. That sounds like hope to me. Sending you lovin's. Your voice is beautiful, Louisiana. I've heard your voice, and I'm happy to have, right? I can say that. Like, really. I'm happy to have heard your voice, dear friend. Look forward to hearing it again. Your voice is not gone yet. Cannabis is also a vagrant. Cannabis has a reserved seat in the front row. What the? Yeah, that's kind of true. It's kind of true. But I'm not letting any. I'm not just letting the vagrants in. Hey Google, define vagrant. Vagrant, a person without a settled home or a regular work who wanders from place to place and lives by begging. No, again, alcohol is one of the most settled of homed like compounds. They are very settled. Alcohol lives everywhere, on every shelf. And they have regular work, like pretty much every weekend, alcohol as a full-time job. But they do wander from place to place. So maybe you got it there. But no, 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 mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. You know, no. No, no alcohol, no me. Mm-mm. Melt. You know that saying, an onion in in a petunia patch. You are a petunia in an onion patch. Weirdly enough, even though I like that, I kind of instantly went for the I am the onion in the petunia patch, right? Even though the petunias are very nice, right? Do they smell nice? Hey Google. Hey Google. Do petunias smell nice? Petunias have lovely scents, bro. That's gonna make my point harder to sell. Man. Sweet fragrance in the evening. Man. Hey Google. How long do petunias bloom for? 12 weeks. Growing season is 12 weeks. Yeah, 12 weeks. Man, this point is going to be a hard sell, but I'm still going to say it the way that I wanted to say it. Onions have flowers as well. Technically, you don't want them flowering if you want the onion to be as good as it can be. But onion flowers don't smell bad, right? They still have little flowers. The bees love them, especially. Like, they're very fluffy. Hey, Google, show me onion flowers. Yeah, look at these. And you might not like the way this looks, but I don't mind it, honestly. These are very like little closed ones. But some of them can be like like that. That's nice looking, right? Yeah, nice flowers. And then there's like sustenance as well, right? There's some sustenance. If you really go deep with what I'm trying to share with you, you won't just get the surface level. This smells nice and it's pretty, but also like some sustenance, like something that will fill your heart and soul, something that will give you energy going forward, something you will think about, right? Something that will come apart as layers as you think about it. Yeah, yeah, my points being made. Thank you. I sort of take the compliment both ways. Love is true. No, 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 no. Grandma thinks I do meth is strangely wholesome. You find that wholesome? Bro, my grandma warning me about fentanyl laced meth is it really troubles me, bro. Like it troubles me. Oh. Like what does my grandma think I keep myself busy with? I'll see. Like in the best part is she can tune in right now. She knows how to use YouTube. She can just watch me right now. See the kinds of conversations I have. But they don't. They don't. I wonder why. I do wonder why. Sometimes I take it personally. But then I stop. My mom knows I smoke weed, and she found my tongue scraping spoon in the bathroom and kicked my door down saying I'm a heroin user. I relate. I am so sorry, Mellow Raccoon, that you had to go through that. Yeah, vectors, right? And then at the same time, you know, like prescription medication or alcohol or coffee, that's like not even something they bet their eyes towards. You know, like alcohol, like it's like, oh, this is nice, this is fine, this is so normal. You know, and if you had to look at the statistics, there are many more people that switched over to harder drugs from alcohol than from any other substance in the history of mankind. Call me out if you don't believe that's true. Sorry, you have to go through that, Raccoon. Welcome, welcome indeed. You are loved. I'm new, just discovered you, and I love the vibes, brother. I am honored. I do this every day. You know, you don't have to come every day. Would be a little bit much. I do it every day, so you don't have to kind of vibes. But if you feel down, if you just want to have a conversation with someone, if you just want to say something in a space that someone, right? I might not, and like I do say this from the perspective of like maybe you join 5 years from now. Maybe I won't be able to directly address your comment, but someone will, right? I'm trying to at least, and I see it in you friends. Uh, give a voice to the people that choose to give their voice to this space, right? So you are loved, you are lovable, and you are loving by nature. Otherwise, you wouldn't have sent the messages you have sent. So go out and know that to be true. Love that is. So are you. Bless you again. Being seen and being heard too. This is the way. I totally agree, Loazana. I thought the same thing for me recording, reading my daughter's favorite books. Do it. Like, why not though? You have to push a button, and then you're gonna forget about the phone, and then you're gonna pick it. You might think about it for a second. You might be like, oh, like I think about this for a second. Like, oh yeah, I'm being recorded. My voice and my face, and my ideas in this moment, wrong as they may be. And then I stop thinking about it, and I can just have a conversation with a person that is sitting across from me. That's the way I do it, at least in my mind, right? Like you aren't a camera on tripod to me as much as you are a person sitting across from me. That's the way I have to do it. That's why I have a really hard time just recording content for the sake of recording content. Because if I'm just hitting record, just record, it's like I'm not talking to a person suddenly. No, suddenly I'm not. Oh, that's a good idea. Like when I review Bud, like I used to get like super. I say like how I'm saying used to. I will never get caught up again. When I get caught up with a camera on my face, I'm just going to start talking to the cameraman behind it. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Yeah, that works. I'm rendering. I can see how it would work. Yeah, nice. More platitudes unlocked. Oh, I'm getting cold. The sun is setting. Oh, so that she could hear the voice she heard as a kid. Not whatever happens in the next 10 years. Do it. Do it, bro. Do it, please. I agree about the onions and the petunias. I was thinking that when I typed it, I got it backwards. Both were beautiful. I like it. Right. It's still because I get both sides of it. I would like, right? My ego, the part of me that's purely vain, likes the fractal of me being the only like nice smelling, beautifully petaled petunia, absolutely radiant in the sunlight, with all of these onions next to me. However, however, both of them have a place, right? And that is technically the point of today's stream. That is the thing I'm seeing this weekend. Because my family, contribute to the world in their own ways, as I try to as well, right? I don't think I'm better than any of them. I just think I'm different, and that's fine. That's fine. 100% fine. It is sometimes awkward when there's like one random ass onion growing in the petunia bed. Maybe like might give you a schizoid. I was teaching people the word schizoid, and I'm saying people like it's. I was teaching my little cousins technically. My one cousin is 12, no 14. One cousin is 14. The one is 10. And then I taught it to Ron as well, who's 20 now, and to Vickers as well, who's like 32, where I taught them the word schizoid. Schizoid to me is when you see something happening or you hear something, and then it causes that sense of tension in you where you want it not to. But it's like a reaching, like you want to, and the way, as an example, I give in that moment as well, is like maybe you have a blanket, a very nice, fluffy blanket like this, and then someone asks you to borrow it. And then you're like, fine. And then you watch them go and sit down with your blanket on sand and dust with like leaf debris mixed in between it. Instantly, your brain is gonna get schizoid. That guy is gonna schizoid you. Because now suddenly your brain is gonna be like, no, not like that, don't do that. My blanket's gonna get grains in between the fibers. No, that's schizoid. My cousins loved it. They're like, yeah, schizoid. He's schizoiding me like they were using it, and I was like, this sense of like, yeah, yeah. Because what word do you have for that? Do you have a word for that? Schizoid? Yeah, I knew it. I think I have one more Dynavap stack, and then I'm going to finish off our stream for today. We should get on the road, technically. John! He was outside for a moment. I was hearing his guitar, but not anymore. What does my grandma think I keep myself busy with? Hunting the floorboard gnomes that keep stealing your shit. Exactly. Meanwhile, I'm just like uh, selling all of my shit to buy more meth or something in her mind. I don't know if she knows I've been getting robbed. I don't think I told her. I don't know if my mom told her. Ooh, onion flowers, alliums are very common here for gardens. The purple bowl one kind especially. That's really cool, dude. That makes me happy. They are nice because they self-duplicate. Yeah. Uh, it was wholesome because she still cared enough to watch out for the Matthews. Yeah, true. Maybe that's true. I hope the stream doesn't get demonetized. I hope it's clear, that we do not condone the use of any substances. We just know that human beings use substances. And that it's usually not a good idea to assume things about people. Alright. They are nice. Bless again. Liam is awesome. Did I get his name right, Melt? You did. Liam is his name. Dion is the other one. Also, allumium flowers. Allium flowers are edible and delicious. I don't think petunias are edible. The sun is setting so nice. It's looking good. Ooh, look at that little spotty. As it's going through the trees. That's perfect. I think I'm ready to say goodbye to you friends for today. Let me open this quickly. Today, we did a stream talking about giving yourself a voice. How that sometimes in this world, you might get shut down or marginalized, minimized, written off, seen as unknowledgeable or delusional, and that if you feel that way, if your voice gets shut down in that way, I'm looking for a specific word. And it's tripping me out, like it's glitching my brain. Uh, it's not marginalized. It's kind of in that same world. It's like being. It's not patronized either. Mm. It's like written off, but it's also not that word. It's like when people almost like make out the thing you have to say from a standpoint as it doesn't matter. Doesn't carry any value. You shouldn't even pay attention. I'm getting schizoided right now because I want my brain to get that word right because I know it. I do know I know it. I know it's there somewhere because I want to use it. That's the thing. Belittle. That's the word I'm looking for. Belittling. Mm-hmm. Yesy, bro. Like I'm reading now as I'm deleting this piece of text again. This voice recognition is bad. Like it's a miracle that the LLMs can still make something off of it. Today we talked about giving yourself a voice, especially so when we feel belittled and our willingness to share great ideas with those that we love. Sometimes people will not be ready to see the future that you envision, and instead of letting them silence you, give yourself a voice somewhere else. It might be through your music, it might be through your writing, it might be through your art, through the projects you take on in your life. Choose to say something if people try to stop you too, especially. Right? Like aggressively. I wanted to say aggressively, but aggressively might be misinterpreted, right? Like I can be. Like if you tell me I can't, I aggressively want to. Right? Suddenly I have John. Is it John Kavis? John? Max? I saw an entity look at me over the corner for a split second. They be gone. I asked for a poem and a goodbye message. There we go. I did both of me. Thank you. That's nice. Mm-hmm. Let me just read. Love, 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 love. Liam is awesome. Petunias. Also, where is Jovan? Probably sleeping. Probably sleeping. I think she was out this weekend. It was only in the past 2 weeks that I found out that the name Liam is short for William. I didn't know that either. I don't know if his is short. I think his is just straight Liam. But maybe some of the Liams are actually Williams. I was wondering that too, Sam. I didn't know that, Nancy. Also missing Florida man. Chopo. I think assertive would be better than aggressive. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Assertive is the better word. Thank you. Thank you for joining our stream. Our conscious evolution today, dear friends. Remember to always give yourself a voice, especially when you feel belittled. Share your great ideas with those that you love, even if they aren't ready to see the future you envision. If someone tries to silence you, find other ways to express yourself. I said that. This thing is just paraphrasing right now. Man, like, why am I so worked up about this? I want creativity, I guess. Watch. Can you please rewrite the goodbye message, but like really push it with the creativity, and maybe even add like a sprinkle of assertiveness. Let's see if that does something for us. Must remember to manifest them. I haven't seen Giovanna in quite a while either. I think her work schedule changed, and I'm pretty sure she was out until late this weekend, probably. All right, let's try again. This one is different. It's a little bit more spiced up. Still kind of paraphrasing, but we'll do it. Thank you for joining our stream today, friends. Remember this. No, I can't. It's too bad. It's so trash. Like my mind's like nah. No. Let's try that again, and let's format it in a Shan message. Let's see how that works. Yeah, that's better. That feels a little bit more familiar. Alright, I was just talking about how I don't like the familiar or the predictable, but maybe I like the familiar but dislike the predictable. Right? If you're familiar with something you like, that's good. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna put it down. All right. Have the most spectacular day, everyone. I wholeheartedly love you all so incredibly, phenomenally, astoundingly, mind-blowingly, staggeringly, unfathomably, heartwarmingly, amazingly, thoughtfully, wonderfully, melt, and all of you, oh so inspiring, uplifting, compassionate and incredible, thoughtful, loving, caring, amazing, understanding, kind friends who refuse to be silenced and boldly express their unique voices. Yeah, that one felt good. Nice. I'm happy. I'm happy that I uh didn't let my voice be silenced. Thank you, friends, for joining me. So much epic love to you, amazing humanimal critter creatures. I'm blessed to be able to share my voice with friends. I love you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Cheers, everybody!